Okay, so it is July 16th, 2022. I am going to put this first, okay, what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to put it on me, and I'm going to talk for a little bit, and we're going to go through a few things, and then after that's done, then I'm going to add in what was previously done before what I'm doing right now in terms of video recording. Because Andre was recording what he was doing out on the porch. I was trying to get him motivated to plant potatoes in a box as a science experiment. But it's been hot and there's only so much he can do, so I ended up just taking over yesterday, and as you can see, I finished the job. Now, the problem with that though is I feel very uncomfortable with anything in my yard these days, okay? And that's why I'm going to go inside and talk after I'm done this. But I just want you to see the positive side of this video in terms of an escape route if the shit should hit the fan, right? And, you know, the economy really crashes and we're in the deep depression, and those below a certain income level that fall into that caste system are left with nothing but a fucking, boo-boo food line with rations to boot. Okay, I mean, it could go there. We don't know yet, right? And me as a parent on the edge of leaving this planet because of my age and whatnot, right? In my mind, some of what I do, like this stuff, is kind of futile. It's futile because it's a hit and miss. You don't know if you're going to get a bounty crop of food or if you're going to get nothing. Because this year, not too much is growing, people. Because everything was freezing in a late spring. So anyway, okay, let's stay focused. So it's just, even if it's in little bits and batches, it's exposing the kids and my grandkids to an alternative means to provide food for themselves if they had to. And in my mind, it's better that they had the experience at some point in their life in order to be able to tackle the problem, to recreate a solution if it needed to be done, versus not having no experience to draw on. So when I say that what I'm doing is futile, it could very well be futile because what I plan on for this room is, well, obviously, we got some tomato plants that I transplanted yesterday. We've got our ginger still growing. I got some pots here that I'm going to rinse and clean out really, really good when I have time, and the trays and everything, because we're going to try a different system with clay pebbles through hydroponics. You could use perlite as well. I've got both. And then that will go over here somewhere, somehow, some way, or maybe it will stay in here, depending, right? To experiment, to learn how to use actual hydroponics, so if and when, if you ever really needed to do it, you could do it because you've already went through the process. This little guy I transplanted yesterday, and it's perked up, so that's good. Got these ready for peas, my organic peas that do sprout. So Andre's going to plant peas, so he'll come back and do a video on that, and that will go on the next video. This is, I'm pretty sure this is, what is it called? Broccoli. I'm pretty sure that's broccoli. And tomatoes. Wait a minute. No, that's broccoli. That's broccoli over there. And those are still tomatoes down there. Not sure what I'm doing with them yet. This is potatoes in a 1 gallon. It's supposed to be 3 gallon bag, but for whatever reason, that's not 3 gallons. I can't see that being maybe 3 liters, but not 3 gallons. Anyway, this is an experiment. I think there's 1 potato per bag, and we've got 3 bags here, just to see, right? Because not everybody has land. Okay, that's the first thing. And sometimes you know, when the weather gets cold, you want to be able to insulate them and be able to control, I would say, their learning environment, their growing environment. So something like this, you could bring inside an enclosed area with some artificial lighting that grows plants with a bit of heat, like warmth, however that is. And because potatoes are hardy and can actually grow until October, like you harvest them in October, right? You can extend their growing season by artificially putting them in areas where they could grow if you didn't have the land to do it. Okay? So here's the plan, Stan. This little area, I already talked to my son. He agrees with me. He's going to help me. So hopefully he'll get excited about it and, you know, really help me to do it. I brought in some extra plastic, okay? First thing I'm going to do, well, I'm clear this out, and then I'm going to run this plastic up in here just to ensure that if there's any leaks, which there is probably still one or two, since I put those things up, it's been much, much better, but nothing is perfect when you have a leaky boat like this. So just to keep moisture away, like water, you know, if water pools into this, it's going to go with the path, right? And it will drain and drip wherever it wants to go. The point is it won't be in this area. That's what I'm trying to ensure. So I've decided to leave a little Shamay's desk there, right? But up in here, I'm going to turn it into a little grow room. And I'm going to try and, I don't know yet, but I'm going to insulate it. And that's where we're going to grow some plants for as long as we can. I don't expect to grow them through the whole winter just because of the heat situation, right? Because plants usually like it warm. Unless, of course, I could really build something that was well insulated, but, you know, it's the learning process that I'm more involved in terms of just, you know, hone in on some skills, develop some skills, figure out what you're doing, make it where it's like riding a bike. You know, this connector goes to that connector, you've got your float valve over there, and you're good to go. Mixing up your solution, testing the pH. You know, I'm not even anywhere near that point, right? So anyway, no. I don't know if this is these pesky raccoons already digging around, or if it was the wind. It was like that. So who knows? So anyway, hold on a minute. You see, I have to do porch repairs. Right? So I'm trying to get, now there's beams underneath here. So it's okay. But it's this, you know, it's, once wood starts to rot like this, it just spreads out. So I have to clear out all this. But I wanted to do this first. Right? I haven't done a yard check in a long time. I am planting things, but nothing is safe in my yard. We know that, people. Okay, you can see. Those are cucumbers or something down in there. Right? And as I'm going about, you see I'm doing that. Those branches for the rocket stove. You know, I'm just, right? Hold on a minute. Okay. Now I'm back. So basically, you know, I'm just going about my day. Right? Day after day after day. And as I'm doing this stuff around the yard, you know, you have to remember it's the middle of July, right? Oh, my eye keeps wandering this way. It's the middle of July, right? So it's, you know, kind of late in the game to be planting seedlings. But if we have a late summer, it's a hit and miss. That's what I mean by being, it could be, it's futile. Right? Because you just, what do you get out of it? Well, that's the thing. We don't know until September, October what we're going to get out of it. Is it economical? Well, maybe not in the sense of, okay, I'll use this for example. I bought 3 bags of seed potatoes that were at the end of their life. In other words, they should have been in the ground a month and 2 months ago. Okay? So they had long-ass roots like that, and they were kind of shriveled. But they'll still grow. How long they'll grow for depends on the weather. So for 3 bags, it was $8 a bag, I think, or $9. We'll put it at $9 a bag, so it was $27 for 3 bags of potatoes. So for $27, we're going to find out approximately how many potatoes grow between now and October, basically. Was it worth it? Well, we don't know until October. In terms of, I got 3 times more potatoes, let's just say, for $27 than if I went to the grocery store and bought them for $27. First of all, we don't even know how much potatoes are going to be in October. Just saying. So there's the science experiment. There's the exercise. But for me, even though it looks like nobody's paying attention in terms of Tisha doesn't care, right? She just goes to the grocery store and grab what she wants. Doesn't care. Doesn't care if it costs more to buy it this way or if it costs more to buy it this way. She's just going to grab what she wants and go to the till and pay whatever it is required. Where me, I'd be, okay, well, you've got 10 pounds here, 5 pounds here, but it's cheaper to buy 2 5-pound bags than 1 pound bag. And therefore, I'd buy 2 pound bags, which makes me look like I'm buying in multiples. When you can buy 1 pound of 10 pounds. 1 bag of 10 pounds, right? Or, you know, my son is somewhat interested, but not really, because you have to get dirty. You have to build things. You have to set up the system. You have to nurture this. You have whatever, right? Now, he's not interested in all that. He's interested in maybe hammering a nail here and hammering a nail there and standing back and watching, saying you're doing a good job. And then if there's a big bounty, for sure he'd take something, right? If there was no big bounty, he'll be like, oh, you just wasted your time. Not necessarily so. You see, this is where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I know everybody's thinking I'm wasting my time by doing what I'm doing. Never mind what I'm doing in the yard when you can simply go to a grocery store and buy it there and maybe even get a better product or get a product that you can't grow. Like, I can grow, what are those things? Green peppers, but I'm not as good as what you buy in a grocery store, that's for sure. But if the economy ever goes in that direction where it's very controlled and households, not individuals, but households are on a ration system where you can only buy so much of this and so much of that per month, just because of the global supply chain issues that we're facing today. If they continue to spiral out of control, it could come to that, people. Mickey, it could come to that, right? And I may or may not be here to see it because of my age and whatnot, right? So as a parent, the only thing that I can do to help my kids, and this is the point of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and the point of this particular episode, monologue, whatever you want to call it, chit-chat. The only thing that I can do as a parent with that foresight, whether it's 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or maybe even 20 years, I don't expect to live till 80 years old, people. I really don't. And I'm sure in the heck not going to have the energy like I had in my 60s, okay? let's be realistic about it. I can't leave them money because I don't have any. I can't leave them property because I don't have any. Half the stuff I own in this house, they don't want. So, right? What can I leave them to help them brave life? Brave life, because we ourselves in this day and age today have it good compared to what our kids and our grandkids might be facing in 10, 20 years from now. Okay? If I had money, would that be enough to solve the problem? No, not necessarily, because like I said, go into the grocery store, eventually it's just going to become one big display case for a whole lot of people that can't afford to buy nothing. Okay? So if they can't afford to buy nothing, how are they going to feed themselves, even in a small sense? Because the little things that I'm doing on a grander scale seems like, well, so what? You grow a few potatoes in a few boxes and a few bags, and you know, you tuck them here and tuck them there, and you got yourself a little bounty of 2 bags full. You know, how far is 2 bags of potatoes going to get you through a depression? Let's just say, for example. Well, out of those 2 bags, you could take a half a bag and put them away for next year. And then that way you start them earlier and really look after them so that you get even a bigger bounty. So that, right? So that there is a little bit, I don't want to call it hope, but there's a little bit of resource that you can add on to. The other 1.5 bags, well, you're just going to have to spread it out between your meals. If it means going out and looking for dandelion leaves, right, or even dandelions for that matter, and, you know, eating the leaves as a salad, right? I'm just using that as an example. And making yourself dandelion tea, right? You know, looking around for if there's any left after the property developers are done with this province, looking around for some pine trees or spruce trees, because you could take those needles and make yourself a high vitamin C tea, okay? You're going to get a lot of high vitamin C from those pine needles to supplement what you're not getting because you can't afford to buy it in a grocery store, or you're just being denied it. In 20 years from now, for people that are below a certain income, you don't think it's not coming to that to some degree? With the mindset that people are operating under today? You see, that's the thing. It's the mindset that people are operating under today in regards to global leaders, you know. I don't know, people. Like, I don't get how we allow foreigners with heavy accents as if it's freaking sexy, like Klaus Schwab, right? Like, you know, they try and put him out there like he's some sexy guru that everybody should bow down to and kiss his feet because he's the leader, right? As he's promoting mayhem and letting people know that it's okay to get mad and that everybody's just going to get madder, right? But you're supposed to be happy, like because that is what is that's the mindset that a lot of people are jumping onto. So therefore they go through life just trashing shit, trashing whatever they can trash, just so that they can climb up a little higher for themselves. Like, I don't, you know, money, like how does money insulate the display case? Is there just going to be special grocery stores for people with money? And for the ones with no money that can't afford to buy a bag of potatoes? I'd rather have the half a bag of potatoes, seed potatoes, find a way to plant those seed potatoes for next year, and then continue the process year after year wherever I freaking go, knowing that I'll have at least some potatoes every year, versus having no potatoes because they're just on display. Right? So where is the more valuable, I don't want to say lesson, but where is the more valuable asset? Is it the money that can't buy shit and you get nothing? perpetually, year after year, because everybody's on Klaus Schwab's bandwagon, kissing his feet, doing his bidding, right? So that we continue to beat each other up, right? And take, and destroy, just so that we have a pocket of people living in some form of comfort, so they can sustain themselves, while everybody else is just looking at the display case. Well, I don't want to be the one looking at that display case, people. I want to be the one to say, look, I've done it this way, I've done it this way, and I've done it this way. And through my experience, okay, this is the point. Through my experience, this is what I'm doing. I'm giving my kids an experience, even though they don't necessarily like it, they agree with it, they don't understand it, you know, they agree, but maybe they don't want to put the work into it. The point is that through my effort and giving them the experience, because I might not be here in 5-10 years from now to give it to them then, and it will be too freaking late. Okay? They'll remember. You see, that's the thing. They'll remember, oh, gee, there's no potatoes. Or those potatoes over there look real good, but there's just no way out of hell I can afford to buy them, because basically they're just on display. So that, you know, like I've been through this museum for how many times. There's no point in going into the grocery store museum, because there's nothing in there that I can afford. Woe is me. I'm going to starve. What can I do? Oh, wait a minute. I remember. This is what Mom did. Oh, I remember. This is how she did it. She looked foolish at the time. It looked like it was futile. It didn't make sense to me. I couldn't understand it. But now, I can do it because I remember my mom doing it. And you know what? If I remember correctly, I think I was in there helping her out. And because I actually helped her, even though it was just a little bit like with Andre, the next time he goes to put his hands in the dirt, do this, do that, he'll remember, and he'll be more confident to do it again. And then before you know it, you'll have a full bag of seed potatoes. You might not have the land to grow them, but you'll find a way. And you'll also find a way to supplement those potatoes to stretch them out. And you have a plan for next year. And you have this method, this method, this method, and this method to do what it needs to be done in order to make those things grow so that you can feed your family. That's the best thing that I can give my kids, people. I don't know. What is that called? Knowledge? Knowledge by looking stupid? Mom looks stupid doing that. Why is Mom so stupid? Why is she wasting her time? There's other things in life she should be doing first. Right? She's just a stupid woman. Well, they might not be saying that about me in 10, 20 years from now when I'm not here, and they're left alone with just a handful of potatoes and they don't know what to do with it. They'll know what to do with it. So, but it goes back to, there are people out there that just don't want you to have anything. And who think that they can terrorize you, demean you, bring in situations where it becomes dangerous and unpredictable. Okay? So whatever I was going through in my yard years ago is nothing like what I go through my yard now, in light of this bitch stalking it. Okay? And that's why I don't show you too much shit going on in my yard when it comes to food. Because I'm scared that bitch and her skater boyfriend is going to creep my yard and do something. Because murder by fentanyl is like an addiction. Just like the addict is addicted to the drug and will settle for fentanyl if they can't get their drug of choice, but it's being used as a murder weapon in many instances, even if it means lacing people's cigarettes with it. So is murder by fentanyl, as in killing people. That's in itself becomes an addiction. It's like a high, right? A jack off, right? And I think the signs are pretty plain to see. How do I protect my kids against something like that? Educate them on something like that? I don't know. You know, it's one thing putting potatoes out on your porch, trying to keep the fucking boo-boo raccoons out of it. It's another thing putting your potatoes out on your porch, trying to make it life fun. Maybe not fun, but have some meaning behind it. Oh, what you doing? Oh, okay. Well, there might come a day when you're looking and you'll look back and you'll remember what I did and you'll know what to do and you'll have freaking potatoes. But we're not at that point yet. We're at the introduction stage to the learning lesson. That could take years to learn. I won't be here to see the end result. Okay? But this individual that stalks my YouTube channel and stalks my family and stalks my yard and is under some sort of false delusion, it's very disturbing. Okay? So whatever I was doing years ago in terms of my yard isn't nothing like it is today. Because nothing in my yard is safe as far as I'm concerned. So even when you feel like that, because everybody around you, well, not everybody, but some people are like off the hook and deserve to be in freaking jail. Literally. Put away in a mental institution. Put somewhere. Okay? If those freaks are running around in the community, you're going to be faced with the same damn problem. Okay? They're going to look at your box and see your potatoes growing and they're going to be jealous because they couldn't even find one freaking seed potato to plant in their own damn box. And for whatever reason, they think that you shouldn't have it. Okay? Because they're too busy bending down, kissing on, what, Klaus Schwab's foot? With a false sense of reality in terms of, well, I got money. I can go to the display case and buy that. Yeah. So, therefore, you don't get to do what you want, though. No, because you can't afford what's in the display case. Which makes me better than you. Anyway, just wanted to say all that. Okay? So in a lot of ways, what I'm doing, I do with reluctance. In part of because I feel like it's going to be sabotaged with something being planted into it. Something that doesn't belong there that will literally injure my family, if not kill us. Because murder by a fentanyl is an addiction. The ones that do it are addicted to it. The ones that use fentanyl to murder other people are addicted not to the fentanyl people, but to the murder, to the aspect of what they're doing with the drug in order to get an end result. So in the meantime, it's the exercise that is most important, okay, when it comes to what I'm going to be doing in the X Club. Because, you know, there's a big part of me that thinks, oh, it's just futile. You're just wasting your time. There's better things in life to be doing. But I'm like, no. There's a reason why you bought this shit. There's a reason why you bought this shit, okay? If you bought it, use it. If you don't know what you're doing, don't be afraid. Learn how to use it. Right? Try and protect it from the freaks from the community as best as you can. But if you can't, and it's got to be on your porch, then so be it. Take your chances in life. Right? Okay? That's it. Right? And then show those around you that it can be done. Right? And then when you leave, chances are, even though they maybe cut you up, called you foolish, said you were being wasteful in terms of time, that's when they're going to plug in to the program and plant their own potatoes. and be grateful that they even had the opportunity to know how to do it just by witnessing it. So I'm going to end it on now, okay? So the meat, I'm not bothering, okay? I opened up the bacon. It was all sliced up, so I just cut them into chunks, put them into smaller little portions, vacuum sealed them, obviously, and then they're in the freezer, right? I still have like 1 or 2 more something in there to do. The chicken I ended up freezing. I ended up taking the backs of the chicken and put them in a pot, and they've been I'm getting into bone broth now, which will be really good. But I burnt out my element, so I have to hunt around for another element or buy one. And what else was I gonna do? Yeah, so in the next video, Andre can go out there and plant peas, and he can talk about him planting peas. I got the trays ready for him. No. He's too young to do it, right? But he'll have the memory of planting the peas and doing the video so that when I'm gone, if he ever needs to, he'll remember how to do it because he was a part of the process. He won't remember everything because he didn't do everything, but he'll know, like, oh, well, you have to have the dirt in the planter pot all nice lined up and make, you know, a little hole, and it will be that much easier for him, right? If he ever needs to do it. Plus, he'll know how to grow potatoes. Okay, and just as a reminder, this is Julian's sister's YouTube channel. 6 years ago, SHAMAY died, and then this girl, where are we? See? 5 years ago, 5 years ago, those ones below are 6 years ago, so we go 5 years, 5 years. SHAMAY gets murdered, and look what happens. Okay? That's the first thing. And then when we go all the way up, oops. She's just going on and on and on about SHAMAY. Plugs into New Nations Unity and has been antagonizing me ever since. She started with her yard crap. That's what I want to show you. This was before she started coming into my yard, pouring bleach all over the place. So I was going to save it. Yeah, here we go. See? So how many years ago? So this was, what, last year? Last year she started with her little yard checks, because I was going through my little yard checks. This year she actually went out of her way and started killing plants in my yard. Okay? But if you notice, she's not posting anything about that. Okay? So what I'm talking about here is like serious shit. Okay?
Okay, people, so we are back in the yard. Yep. Now been working in the yard lately, but now it's my turn. I'm planting potatoes. Potatoes, peas, and some lettuce. Wash off the porch because it's all dirty. It also it's July 14th, 2022. So yeah, got some boxes for the potatoes. A tray. But I am going to be pouring the dirt, but I have to, you know, snip, snip, it open. Yeah, I'll grab the dirt. We're using what's it called? Black World, I think. Yeah, Black World. But we're gonna cut it open and we're gonna see. It's hot outside. Yep, that's on farm there. Well, you already know what we're doing. Pouring dirt in buckets. I mean, not buckets. You know. So enough for every pouring in these. Water boss. But we're gonna be pouring half. We usually use a shovel, but yeah, it's much faster if you pour it. Oh boy. Now we're gonna get our handy shovels. I'll show you. You see, the shovel is in a spoon, but I'm working outside, and then I should, you know, inside. Smooth out. It's like concrete, or shall we say cement? I have to make sure it's all smooth. But if you want, like, if you don't have any shovels, you're going to have a spoon. I guess a spoon would do. But a spoon actually very does work because it's small. And also you get more in the shovel, the little shovels. If you like have the little shovels, they're not that good. I don't know what that was. But yeah, we're just, you know, we're gonna plant potatoes, beans, and some, you know, lettuce. But it is hot in Canada. I know it's summer, but with the hottest day. And also there's no clouds in the sky. I don't know. And that's it. We'll be back. We will be back later. Bye-bye. We'll see you again. Okay, people, so guess what? That's Matilda. And watch this. When it should be coming to play. Watch. Wait for it. Wait. It usually likes to play with this. But if you turn here, you know it's Matilda. there, but there's something behind her. It's actually her baby. Matilda, the dog. Go. Psst, psst. Yeah. See? Oh, you. If you go right here, you notice there's two right there. There's one right there. There's one. And there's one behind me though. But if you go down a little bit, you see that, right? Oh, wait, there it is. Oh my god. Look. There she is. And there's the other one. What are you doing? What are you doing? Buddy, what are you doing? What you doing? What you doing there? What you doing? Are you stuck? You stuck? There's the other one. But this one is just... This one just wants to like go like, yeah, what's up? And also we have a drink right here. Hey, what you doing? But if you like just come up here, I like did not see him necessarily. We should be coming. But if he doesn't, we just back over here. Look. Ooh, what's that? But sometimes they won't play. I'll just put them right there. But I'll just oh, I was right here. Oh, you're still just right when you put the camera on him. Right when you put the camera on that raccoon. Oh wait, what? Oh, there they are. What? There they are. Yes. Chew. This is getting a little bit too friendly. You're like, oh. Oh. But yeah, these ones, the babies are a little bit rest. A little bit too hyper. And that's it.
Okay, so as you can see, Andre is planting a bag of potatoes, and he's doing it in a cardboard container. It took me a while to get him motivated for it, but bits and batches. By the end of the day, it will be done, and we're going to plant some of those organic peas because they do sprout. When they get to about that high, then we'll decide what we're going to do with them. Right? That's when I might either put them in the greenhouse, or maybe I'll try the hydroponics. I don't know. Even if I get just pea pods without peas inside, that would be great. Considering it's so late at the end of the year. And I think you can even eat the leaves. So yeah. I have 4 of these. And then another one of a different brand that's about twice as much. So we're going to start with these 4 first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them up into little pieces and get them ready for the grinder, to which I did find. I did have to go digging for it, but I got it. And I'm going to stick with what I want to do in terms of grinding it up and freezing it that way in basically individual meal-sized portions, 1 to 2 meals depending, right? And, but I'm so tired. Anyway, I'll be back. And then I got this, 30% off, right? Okay, people. It's the next day. Now you got me. I'm checking up on Andre here. I have to pick up the slack, right? So hard to motivate people to do this kind of stuff. Never mind a kid that wants to just play the Nintendo, right? I told him to organize everything and get him ready. We're gonna. He did something here, so this is good. He did that, right? So we're going to plant some more seeds. Okay, he stacked it up here. Look, that's good. So he tried, right? Just right. I have to mix in the. So anyway, I'm gonna get his boxes ready, and then he's supposed to plant the potatoes because he's the potato guy, right? The meat is halfway done. I'll talk about that later. And then this fell out, so I have to make plans. It's just a plexiglass, so that's good. I have to make plans to put that back. You know, this is old people, right? This is the X Club. So anyway, before I get too far on it, because I want to, you know, I'm going to start more seedlings. Right? So I guess I'll have to clear out a little bit in here. And, you know, I still may turn this one into this little corner right in here. Just maybe I should be thinking about jimmying it up. Because I really have no room inside my house at this point, right, to be doing microgreens or any kind of anything when it comes to hydroponics or that kind of thing, right? And, you know, there's only so much time in a day. I don't know how much I'll get done on Mr. Lace's cat house. And it's warm in here, so... And the plug is very close in terms of just right there, right? So if I wanted to run a grow light in here in a little insulated grow room, I could do it. I have everything I need. I've got the wood. I bought the silver sheeting, and I've got insulation. I could insulate it, and you know. But the thing is, that's little Leia May's. What's it called? Your play table. Right. This ends up usually being more of a storage room than anything else. But anyway, I can't get sick over this, people. So I'm just gonna. There's those rails. So I'm gonna bring out, and Andre can start sanding them and paint them for me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna build in a little makeshift as I'm going about my business in the yard. I'll start gathering up wood because I want to use up the wood, right? And I'm gonna literally build something where it's maybe up off the so that I still have the play desk, right? I can put it on stilts or something, as if, right? Or maybe I could put it in this corner. I don't know. Hold on.